Hey everyone, it's Monday night and it is the start of my week. My Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos that I have been doing now. 52, 53, video 53, I think this would be. So I've been Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I think since the end of May. And I'm gonna kind of make this one quick. But I've said that before and it hasn't worked out, so we'll see how this works out. Because it's almost 10. I usually try to do it a little bit sooner than this, but we had some stuff going on, some important stuff going on tonight, so I had to wait a little bit before I got on. So for those of you who might be going on for the first time or seeing this for the first time, because many of you have shared the videos, which I so appreciate, because in this 53rd video, and how many weeks that I've been doing this, so many people have seen these videos. It's crazy to me how when I'm going places or doing things that I get stopped by people, or I've gotten private messages just letting me know, hey, I've watched your videos, or I've given them to so-and-so, or I shared them and this person has seen them. And that is such a blessing to me, because I struggled. Hey, Alicia and Christine, how are you guys tonight? For 25 years with fear, anxiety, and panic attacks, depression as well. So I know what it's like to live with those things. And I'm not going to go into it big time tonight. You can listen to my other videos that are on my wall, or you can go to a YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and you can search Reclaiming Peace, and that's the channel that they're on. I think maybe there's 40 of them on there, or maybe 45 or something like that. We have to get some more on there soon. But anyway, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to live with this. You know, this wasn't like this mild case of fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. You know, it was full on. It was a big deal. It was nothing short of hell on earth. You know, that's the only, not the only way, but that was a big way that I would describe it. You know, it's like hell on earth. It is the most awful way to live. And that's why it's my passion, because now I've been free for 21 years. So it's my passion. It's my passion to see people set free, to live lives of freedom, because that is the way God intended you to live. You were not intended to live in fear. You were not intended to live in panic. You were not intended to live in torment in your mind. No, that is absolutely not the truth about the way you were supposed to live at all. So I'm thrilled to be able to be helping people. I am thrilled when I hear somebody, or somebody comes up to me and says, you know, I've been listening to your videos, or my sister has been listening, or whoever, you know, has been listening and watching, and they have been helping her, or whatever. It just, oh my gosh, it blesses me so much. I can't even tell you. Hello, Missy, how are you? And Jessica, how are you tonight? Because that's the goal, you know, that's the whole goal, is how do I want to say? It makes what you went through worthwhile, if that makes any sense, right? So if I go right now, if I say, gosh, do I wish I wouldn't have had to live that life of fear and anxiety and panic attacks and everything for 25 years, if I go back right now and say, you know, was that hell on earth? Absolutely. But this makes it all worthwhile, you know, breaking free for 21 years now, and turning around and being able to help others is like, it made that time worthwhile. If that makes any sense. I think you guys understand what I mean, right? Where God takes something that was so bad in your life, turns it around, allows you to break free, and then says, go out. Now you go out and you help others, because there's I've said this a million times, and I'm sorry if you guys come on a lot and you listen, but because there's 40 million, and that's probably, I'm sure that's an estimate, 40 million people in this nation alone who struggle with some sort of fear, anxiety, and panic disorder. So there's so many people that need to be set free from this, so many people. And even though there's that many, I've said this a million times too, you still feel alone. You know, it's like you still feel isolated and you still feel alone. Because basically, it's not something you talk about all the time. It's not something you want to share with others all the time. So a lot of times, you're home and you just feel isolated. You really do, and you still tend to think in your mind, like, I just think nobody else lives like this. You know, your mind sort of might tell you, I really feel so alone. You know. And then that's an awful way to feel, is to feel isolated, alone with this. And I'm telling you, you're not alone. You are not alone, There's so many people that struggle with it. But the other thing that I have been trying to convey for 53 videos now is that you do not have to live like this, that you're not stuck in this, not whatsoever. And what I posted on here, I posted on Facebook on my wall today, that when you believe the lies, I think that's what I said, when you believe the lies, you empower the liar, right? When you believe the lies, you empower the liar. So I'm talking spiritually, but I will preface it kind of in the natural. So if there is, let's say there's somebody that you know in your life that kind of habitually lies, okay? So the person in the natural who habitually lies begins to a lot of times believe those lies, right? And then what do? They end up, they believe them, they live them out. It empowers them to lie even more. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Julia. Congratulations, Jessica, by the way, on that baby. So if it's a person who habitually lies, again, they're believing them. It empowers them to lie even more, right? We've kind of maybe all known somebody like that, okay? And then if somebody lives with them, let's say somebody lives with them, let's say we've got a husband and wife situation, and the wife is lying all the time, and the husband kind of knows it, but he's, he kind of walks on eggshells, he doesn't say much, he doesn't, and it empowers that person, again, who's lying, to lie even more, and they begin to do it even more. Well, spiritually speaking is really what I was talking about. Do not empower the liar, okay? There is God and there is an enemy. In the Bible, he's called the devil, he's called Satan, actually probably Satan more, okay? And he plants lies. He plants fear. Fear is a spirit. It's a spirit of fear. It gets in, right? And it lies, and it has a voice, and it talks to you. Fear talks. Just think about that. It talks, right? Your mind all day long. My mind all day long. It was, that I couldn't discern. Like what I was believing were lies, but it's like I couldn't even discern it anymore because there was so much chatter in my mind when I struggled with this. So when you believe the liar, in the Bible, again, it calls him Satan. He's a deceiver, is what he's called. He's a deceiver of the brethren. It calls him a liar and the father of lies, right? He's the one who wants to plant the fear. He's the one who wants to plant those lies in your mind. He's the one who wants you to believe all those things. And when we're in fear and we're in that mode, it's so easy for us to succumb to those lies. We've gotten to the point where we've heard them so much that we begin to believe them. And we even, what the Bible would call a stronghold, which is like a fortress, we even like build sometimes this stronghold around it, this fort around these lies. And it's like you can't penetrate it, right? And the more we believe it, the more lies that come in, the more lies that come in, the more empowered they are, the more they rise up as truth, to us when they really aren't truth. Okay? I'm saying you can break free. You can break free. I'm saying if I broke free, many others have broke free. And breaking free means I'm not on medication or anything like that. It means my mind has been renewed. My mind has been renewed. My mind has been regenerated. And fear is no longer there, right? Panic and anxiety attacks are no longer there, right? I'm saying you can break free. You may have heard you're not going to break free. You may have heard you need to be on medication probably for the rest of your life. You may have heard you have a chemical imbalance, and unfortunately, that's kind of the way it is. We'll show you how to manage it the best we can. We'll show you the medications to use in order to manage it the best we can. Maybe that's what you heard. Maybe you heard, it runs in your family. It was kind of inevitable that you would have it too. And unfortunately, there's not much that we see that we can do when something runs in our family. You might believe all those things. You might believe all those things. And there's more. There's more. Like maybe you've believed, hey, you're going nuts. You're going crazy. There was days I thought like I'm going crazy. Like I'm losing my mind. There was days that the enemy was throwing that in my mind that and to the point where on a given day, I might start believing that. Like really, like what is going on here? Okay. That's a lie. That's a lie. Those are all untruths. Those are things that have been spoken to you, have been said to you, that you begin to believe. And the more you believe it, the more you empower the lie, the more you make it a part of you, and the more difficult it is to kind of break through that, right? To break through that wall and say, no, let's consider something else. Let's consider that you can break free. Let's consider that if the chemicals got imbalanced by fear, that God has designed your brain and your mind in such a way that it can be absolutely reversed and you can live a life of freedom. That's what happened. That's what has happened to me, right? Let's consider that it might run in your family. Maybe there's a lot of people, in your bloodline, right? But let's consider the fact that you can draw a new line in the sand. And just because it runs in your family doesn't mean it has to touch you. Let's consider those kind of things, because the lies, the things that you've believed, the things that you're stuck with, the things that you've built these fortresses around that say, I just can't believe that. I can see, Heidi, I can see you broke free, but there's got to be something different about you. There's got to be something different. It's got to be, who knows, because of this and this. But I just can't picture it for myself. I just don't think it could happen. I've been at it, I've had this for too long. You can't tell me that, because I had it for 25 years. So, have you had it for a year? Have you been stuck with this for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years? You're still not at where I was at. 25 years, 25 years, I still broke free. You never say never. You never say never, right? I've said this by the doctors. Oh, Missy, you got to go back and listen to some of these other videos that I've done. Go back to my wall, or go to the YouTube channel, put in Reclaiming Peace. I talk about chemical imbalance. I talk about things like that. Just listen to some of those and consider that there might be a different way. There's so many things in life, really, that people have been told, you'll never do this. You'll never accomplish this. Like I know several people, you'll never have children. You never have, you've got this. And what happens? They have children, right? You'll never break free from that disease or whatever, this is, and they break free. There is millions of people that have been told things and said, you know what? I choose not to believe that. I just choose not to believe that. It's not discrediting, the doctors. It's not, they go by what they see, and what they see mostly is, hey, This is what we think. It's a chemical imbalance. We're going to give you the medication. You know, the medication's going to alter your chemicals a little, you know, make you feel a little bit better here and there. Although I've talked to many people who are on the medications who still feel bad, who still have fear, who still have anxiety. And I go, that doesn't make any sense. But that's what they see. You know, that's what their method is. That's what, you know, a psychiatrist does. That's what he does. He prescribes the, you know, the meds. It alters the chemistry, but you take yourself off those meds and the root of it's still there. You know, the root of it has not been taken care of. You got to get to the root. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you have to get to everything that caused it. You know, I know there's a lot of stuff in my past that have caused these things. I'm not necessarily talking about that. I mean, there's things that you need to be done with, you know, sometimes unforgiveness, sometimes things like that might hinder it, right? But you get to that root of that fear and you pluck it out. And you pluck it out. And you know what one of the number one things is? And you can go back and listen to a video on that where I said, don't fear the fear. You know, I said that. I'm doing a class at church right now. This week is our 4th week and it's going amazing. It's going absolutely so good. And we talk about the fact that we've got this fear, anxiety, panic, you know, this panic attacks, right? It's called that for a reason, right? It's like gripping. It's like, get me out of here. It's like, right? What's happening? It's that kind of panic and fear. So we've got the fear, but we fear the fear. It's such a double-edged sword, right? Because these feelings come on, no matter, I don't know about you guys, but no matter how many times it happened, until I knew what to do with it, no matter how many times it happened, no matter how many times I felt that fear, hello, Connor Nealing, coming on, I feared the fear. I feared, it was like the first sign of it, the first feeling of it coming. For 25 years, right? What's the first thing I did was fear. So so not only do you have the fear that comes in, but you're fearing the fear, right? You fear those feelings. You fear that feeling of panic. You fear that feeling of anxiety. It's awful. And so that's the one thing that has to be cut out, you know, right from the start, is to get rid of the fear, you know, or to get rid of, you know, that that panic feeling at first, right? Just like what's going to happen? And what typically happens too is lies start coming in right away. Like right away. What's going to happen? What's going to happen this time? You know, you're going to faint. You're going to faint. You're going to die. You're going to fall over and die. You know, you're going to pass out. You know, oh, you know, this is going to happen. It comes in and it's torment. It's torment. Yeah. You know, so, and the more we fear the fear and the more we believe those, the more we empower that liar, the more we empower the lie that's there. And it becomes so large. And we're so influenced by the fear and the panic and that we feel that we have absolutely no control over it. You know, we feel that you know, we've got these little things to cope. We get through our day. If you're like me, you devise little methods of coping, you know, and I really think God kind of gives us those to get through those times until we know what it takes and what we need to get rid of it for good, right? So it's a double-edged sword, and you might be sitting thinking, oh my gosh, and maybe this is resonating with you, you know, maybe you're going, oh my gosh, like she's describing, you know, how I feel. She is totally like, yes, that's how I feel. That's how I've felt before. That's what, you know, and I'm free. So don't look right now and just go, that's just for her. And that will never happen for me. Man, don't say that. Don't find yourself saying that. That's a lie. That's a lie, and it will be empowered. It will be empowered. Go back. Listen to the videos on your thoughts. Listen to the videos on the importance of your mouth and what you're saying and what you're talking about. Watch those videos. They're so important. Every one of them, every one of those videos gives you just a key, gives you a little bit of insight into what it was that helped me to break free. You know, what I'm doing at the church is the program that I have, which is called Reclaiming Peace. It's a 10-week program. That's what I'm doing at my church. This is the second time I've done it. I think I've got a group of about 8 right now. I've done a couple of Facebook Lives. I have one starting on Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to start that one for sure on Thursday, but I'll advertise again because that's like specialized, you know. My videos they can certainly help. You can certainly take pieces of those and listen again and again and go, yeah, I'm going to take that and I'm going to apply that right now. But the Reclaiming Peace program that I do is 10 weeks, an hour and a half every week. And we just get into it. We get into the nitty gritty. And I'm telling you, after 10 weeks, you will absolutely see a difference. You could be totally free. You know, after 20 weeks, you know, you might have to do it again, you know, because whenever you're listening to something like that, you know, if you listen again, you always catch things. Somebody from the church that's doing the program told me, because we're videoing them, she said, I listened to last week's again, and she said, oh my gosh, I caught so many things, you know, that I didn't catch before. But anyways, I said I wasn't going to go long and look at, I don't know how long I've gone, but this was an important topic. This was an important topic, and I hope you understood it. You know, whenever we empower somebody who's lying in the natural, whenever, if a person who's lying a lot, lies continually, they believe it and they're empowered to demoralize it. And whenever we empower the liar that wants to plant those lies in our minds, that torment in our minds, the more we believe those, the more we say them out of our mouths, the more we're empowering the lie, the more we're believing the lie, and the more lies are going to come in. But when we start combating those lies with the truth that says you can break free, you can break free. You are an overcomer. You have so much more power in you. You have so much more power in you. You are so much stronger than you know and than you think, that you can overcome. You can overcome. When you begin to speak like that, it begins to empower those kind of thoughts. That's the thoughts that God wants you to think. That's the things that He wants you to know, that you can break free, that He wants you to break free, that He has designed you to break free. He has designed your brain to heal itself and to break free from this. Without having to use medications, without having to sit with a counselor for the rest of your life, saying the same things over and over and over, you know, without having to visit the psychologist every 6 weeks to get those meds adjusted, or just to, how's it going? Medication good? Yes, it is. Okay, here's a script for, you know. Yeah, that isn't the way that God wants you to live either. Not at all. Not at all. So anyway, that's my word for you tonight. Do not empower the liar. Begin to know the truth. Begin to know the truth, because the Bible tells us it's the truth that will set us free. It's the truth that will set us free, right? And you got to know what that truth is. You got to know what that truth is. God spoke to my heart one time, many whiles back, and I wrote it down. And He said, Heidi, you've been believing the lies of the enemy for so long that you no longer know the truth. And you have got to start knowing the truth of my word, the truth of what I say about you, the truth about what I think about you, the truth about how strong you are inside, and how I have equipped you with everything that you need to break free. Yeah. And that's what I'm sharing in these videos. So you guys share this video, click share, click like if it has helped you, and it has, you know, if it spoke to you, if it's resonated with you in any way, and share them, because man, if you're struggling with it, press the share button so that it gets out there to others that are struggling with this too. And again, for people who don't have a Facebook page, you know, and you know that you know somebody that struggles with fear, anxiety, and panic attacks, then tell them to go to their browser, go to their phone, and go on YouTube, search Reclaiming Peace, and click that, and all the videos are there at your disposal anytime that you want them, anytime that you need them. So have an amazing night. I just pray for a restful sleep-filled night with no fear and no anxiety tonight for any of you who are struggling with it. I pray for peace to fill your heart and to fill your mind tonight in the name of Jesus. I pray that for you. And I will be back on Wednesday for more wisdom, more nuggets for you to be able to break free from this awful way of living. Thanks for watching.